And I want you to emblaze this into your brain. You only have one chance to make a first impression.
Take a boat, hop a train, catch a plane, make a run to the border. Because for a limited time, Taco Bell has lowered the price of its new grilled chicken fajita.
It's 10:33.
Everybody get out! Get out! Drop the bar! Ma'am, drop the bar! Drop the bar! Drop the bar!
I come in here and spend hundreds of dollars in the mother.
Stay down! Turn over on your stomach! Put your hands behind your back! Do not move, you understand me? Do not move!
To just 99 cents. A deal this hot won't last forever. So get going. Get a grilled chicken fajita for just 99 cents.
Okay, start me a supervisor over here in custody.
Taco Bell has the road to make a run for the border.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing, entertaining, delightful, great disciple content.
Tell me where the freak's at.
Hold up. Hey.
Please raise your right hand. Business owner Joe Sean Posey is suing his former friend for a personal loan. Defendant Yolanda Caldwell says the plaintiff broke into her home.
Mr. Posey, you seem to be suing Miss Caldwell for failure to repay a loan that you advanced her. Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
What happened?
Okay, Yolanda and I, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We've been friends for a while. We get back in contact with each other. You know, I've loaned her money before. She's paid me back with no problem. On this particular day, the 19th of April, it was a Sunday. She asked to borrow money from me. She said she just sent money to her father. It was a Sunday. The banks were closed. And she said on Monday she'll pay me back. You know, being that I loaned her money before, I didn't feel it was a problem. And I loaned it to her. When the 20th came, the next day, I didn't hear from her, you know, what happened. You know, then a couple of days went by, still didn't hear from her. Then that's when I started getting hit with excuses, you know, from everything to, you know, her son went to the hospital to, you know, she just didn't have the money. I asked for her pink slip to hold for collateral for a car. She said she was going to sell her car and try to return the money back to me. Then after that, she said she put her car gave her car to the pawn shop for a loan. She pawned her car, right? But I still didn't receive anything. Still after that.
Still haven't gotten any money.
Still didn't get any money. No numbers changed. Ended up having to drive to her husband's house to find out, and I was able to reach her in, but we talked through the door. She said that she would try to give me some money in a couple of days. Still didn't get any money.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case says his friend needed money to wire to her father. He says she promised to pay him the next day, but her personal problems got in the way again. Let's take a look.
Let's go to the defendant.
Okay. I never told Joshan that I was not going to pay him back. At the time that I borrowed the money, I did borrow the money to send to my father.
Why?
Because he was in Arkansas and he was dealing with his mother and his sister who recently passed, and he asked me to lend it to him.
And what was he going to do with it?
Excuse me?
What was he going to do with it?
I guess expenses that he had out there.
What expenses?
Whatever expenses he had. I mean...
You just send $2,500 just off the top of your head to Little Rock?
Yes.
You wired it?
Yes.
Okay. Isn't that sort of a rob Peter to pay Paul type situation?
No, because when I borrowed the money from Joshan, Joshan knew that I had the money in the bank. I had recently...
He may have known it, but apparently he's mistaken because said checkos were not in the bank.
Okay, well, the reason
He's
why
not
the checks
paid.
were not in the bank is because I wasn't aware that my account was frozen from a car that I had voluntarily repossessed from me.
Well, you had problems with someone else.
No, I didn't have problems. I voluntarily had them take the car back from me because of a problem that I had with them that had nothing to do with me.
Hold on, before we get into that song and dance. How is it that you're going to have money in the bank to pay him and your account is frozen because of another failure to pay that? How were you not aware of it?
Because the bank was closed that day.
When did you learn of this?
That Monday. I never told Joshan that I was not going to pay him the funds back.
Well, he didn't get paid, so were you telling him the truth or not? Because I'm having a problem with, you see, you've come up with several excuses, one of which is, I didn't know that my bank account was going to be frozen. I didn't find it out till Monday, and when I find it out Monday, it's too late to do anything with him because I had the money in the account. No, you didn't have any of the account. They attached it.
If I had the money in the bank or not, if you borrow money from somebody, you don't expect to get stalked. You don't expect to come to your house and find somebody sleeping on your mattress on the floor.
A lot more than that happens.
Well,
and he's asleep on your couch? Sounds like
mattress.
he's right at home. Maybe he's just saying maybe you have some distress and he's coming over there to help you. A friend he's dealt with it a long time.
Yeah, well, maybe
Poor
if he had
baby
a
girl
door
has
key,
some
that would be
problems.
one thing, but I didn't give him a door key. So if I walk in my house at 6 o'clock in the morning...
Maybe you left it unlocked.
No, I did not leave my house
You left it unlatched.
No, I
so
didn't.
You walk
Even
in.
if I left it unlocked, we didn't have the kind of friendship where I can just walk into his house at any time and he can walk into mine.
Well, did you have the kind of friendship you could borrow $2,500 cash from him on a Sunday because you can't get to the bank?
Yes, because I did it in the
Okay,
past.
now what did you do with the $2,500?
I sent the money off.
How?
Western Union.
How much did they charge you?
$32.
So he needed the $2,500 for what?
I guess whatever expenses, but I didn't question what his expenses were. He was my father. He asked me.
No.
Yes.
Daddy doesn't borrow money from baby girl. He bails her out. Now, where'd you send the money?
Marion, Arkansas.
No, show me your receipt. Because what I'm looking at is you have a typical profile, which is I'm broke, busted. I didn't pay the car note. They've attached my bank account, which means, guess what? They have a judgment against you, and there's a levy and execution that's been issued.
It was voluntarily.
Well, they levy
and I bought another car, cash money after
Well, then
that
if you volunteered, then you knew you didn't have the funds on deposit, so you misled him. 19.8% interest compounded quarterly. Your recovery is going to be $3,114.52. Your award.
And Ms. Portland's now in recess.
The defendant in this case says all she needed was just a little more time, but the judge does not believe her sob story about her father. That money's going to the plaintiff. We'll be right back.
Larissa Edmonds is suing Carrie Mills in the amount of $1,200. Ms. Edmonds claims that Ms. Mills uninvited her to a wedding after she paid for travel and a bridesmaid's dress. Ms. Mills claims the plaintiff was uninvited because she didn't fit into the bridesmaid dress.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor. Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Ms. Mills, we got a dress here, so we're going to talk about this dress and why you deserve $1,200.
Yes.
What's the deal with the dress?
Well, I'm suing my ex-best friend for $1,200 because she kicked me out of her wedding on the day of because the dress busted open.
The dress busted open? Mm-hmm. Did you kick her out of the wedding party?
Yeah.
Yes.
But she did sign a contract saying if she didn't meet all the requirements that she wouldn't attend, so.
I'm sorry. She signed a contract to be in the wedding?
Yes.
Is that what people are doing now? I've never heard of that.
Apparently.
What made you think of that?
I wanted everything in order, and certain things have happened in the past that made me want to create a contract.
Well, how many times have you been married?
Once.
Well, you said things have happened in the past.
That she has done. We've been best friends for 10 years.
How many women were part of your wedding bridal party?
Seven.
Did all 7 have to sign contracts?
Yes.
You had all 7 women sign a contract to be a bridesmaid.
Yes.
And what did the contract say?
It said a lot of things. It said you had to meet.
You have a copy of it?
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
But it's been through emails and.
What did it say?
It was ridiculous. We couldn't color our hair. We had to maintain our figures for months. We couldn't get pregnant. Like, that's not something you can control. You know, life happens.
Are you for real?
Not exactly in those words. They could color their hair naturally, but they couldn't use any specific like green or red.
No drastic change in hair. No drastic change in your appearance or weight.
Right, but after the alterations, so 3 weeks before the wedding,
I'm still
you
stuck
have
on the
to fit
contract.
into the dress.
We can't even get to the dress until I finish hearing about the contract. Was that it?
She had become a bridezilla, honestly.
Well, duh.
Yeah, she was stressing about every little detail.
What else was in the contract that you willingly, knowingly, and understandably signed? Because you signed it, right?
Yes, I did.
Did she say if you don't sign it, you're not in the wedding?
She didn't explicitly say it, but it was pretty understood that
it was stated in the contract that if you can't meet these requirements, you can't be in the wedding.
You're out.
Yeah.
Wow. What did she do that caused her to be kicked out of the wedding?
She busted open the dress that I had paid for.
You paid for the dress?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, it is true.
All right. How much was the dress, the value?
$375.
All right. You're not suing to have the monies returned to you for the dress?
No, she's my friend. I would never do that to her.
Okay. That's funny. She doesn't have any problem doing it to you, though. So what's the $1,200 for?
It's for the hotel and flight. I had to fly across the country to be at her wedding. And I had already made all the plans to be there.
I understand that, but what is really the reason why we're here?
Well, I don't mind spending money if it's for my friend, but since we're not friends anymore, I might as well get back what I lost.
Most of the time when people get married, there's a fitting, the dress, and everything's perfect, right? You go to the event, and while you're in the dress, so I take it at this point, you had taken pictures. Were you in the midst of doing all that? Because you have the dress on, right?
It was while we were getting ready for the wedding.
And while you were getting ready, so what happened? What caused the dress to, was it a malfunction on the manufacturer's part?
It was that she didn't try on the dress. Okay, I had all my bridesmaids get alterations prior to the wedding, and I asked them to try their dress on 3 days before the wedding. If they need any last-minute alterations to make sure that it fit perfect. There's no way you tried the dress on anywhere close to the wedding. There's no way you could gain that much weight in 3 days.
That dress has no give at all.
If you thought you would gain weight, ask to leave a little more room. These are things you tell the person who's altering your dress.
It did fit when I tried it on. She told me in front of everyone in the bridal party, Larissa, if you can't get your life together, you can't be in my wedding.
Well, what does her life have to do with
it? Because this is her life story. This is how it's always been. I'm always there to catch her fall. I take care of her. This is what we do. We have a sister relationship. I'm the responsible one, always taking care of her, the irresponsible one.
I take care of her too.
I do everything for you. I do everything from you, and you're just a friggin' hot mess.
Judge Ross's...
I do everything from you, and you're just a friggin' hot mess. You are a hot mess, and you can't get your life together.
Stop.
So
that's why we're here. If the dress malfunctioned for whatever reason, and she's being anal about the whole endeavor, part of being a friend is saying, you know what, it's all about you. I don't want you stressing. I'll just sit down. I'll show you love from the audience.
And she didn't do that once. Every other bridesmaid did that but her. They all were there to support me.
She didn't lash out on any other bridesmaid.
Honestly, the worst part about this entire thing was when I bought the dress, you didn't even say thank you.
Well, maybe you just shouldn't have a relationship with her. But if you expect this court to pay you for doing what a friend would normally do, that's not going to happen. Your matter is dismissed. Case closed.